Hi, my name is Emily Ellett, and this is my persuasive speech on political advertising. How many of y'all can name the candidates running for president this year? Most of you either know these candidates because of the news or more prominently from political advertisements. Political advertising is similar to product advertising in the sense that it is a useful and necessary method used to educate mass audiences on specific issues or political candidates to help close information gaps and highlight specific issues. With a personal background in newspaper journalism, I understand the vitality of advertising both for the financial and informative purposes. Most everyone has seen advertisements like the one attached on my PowerPoint. In all honesty, most of us only know about elections and candidates, especially in the local area, due to the fact that there are political advertisements such as billboards or yard signs. Throughout this speech, I will discuss exactly what political advertising is, the benefit of using this type of medium, and the variety and importance it plays in our society. In order to fully understand the purpose of political advertising, it must first be defined. For political parties and candidates, political advertising is the best way to get a message and platform of an individual into society. To do this, there are numerous mediums that can be used. Political advertising is very similar to consumer product advertising, as it is a tool used to promote and convince. Dictionary.com defines advertising as the act or practice of calling public attention to one's product, service, or need through the use of paid announcements. Advertising is primarily used to encourage the purchase of a product or service, and specifically, political advertisements are portraying a service that an individual can provide for public need. Like consumer advertising, political advertising is ultimately aimed at persuading voters to do what the person paying for the advertisement wants them to do: vote for a particular candidate. Political advertising plays a key role in modern electioneering and has been part of political campaigns since the earliest federal elections were held in the United States. They have a great amount of flexibility and range, according to Thurber, Nelson, and Dubio, authors of Crowded Airwaves, Campaign Advertising in Elections. According to Stephen Whiteberg, a writer for the New York Times, advertisements can be tailored to specific areas of the nation to focus top issues that are more prominent in local areas and increase or decrease the frequency of an ad based on its population. The Advertising Educational Foundation states that advertising is a large tool that enables politicians to send their message to a large number of people who tend to be apolitical or who are not particularly interested in political campaigns. Political advertising is very similar to consumer advertising because it highlights a service a candidate can provide and allows for the flexibility and the range to reach a large audience. The next main point I want to highlight is how political advertisements are used to educate the mass audience to assist in closing the information gap. Political advertisements are used to close the information gap between the public and the political sectors. Without them, a large majority of people would be uneducated on controversies, issues, and elections. Advertisements can allow the people not typically affiliated or familiar with the political realm to become informed, because advertisements come to people where they are. The use of political advertisements is fundamental in informing audiences that are not usually in the political circuit and don't keep up with campaigns. Political scientists Stephen Anselbier and Shanto Iyengar discuss how advertising allows candidates to reach uninterested and unmotivated citizens who ordinarily pay little attention to news and media reports. The audience for political advertising contains the people interested and uninterested in politics, who just happen to be watching a specific TV program or see an ad allowing for the reach of advertising to extend beyond relative attentive and engaged voters. These information tools provide the positions and stance of a particular candidate and allow for the public to understand the viewpoint of the individual running for a specific position. It's estimated by the Advertising Education Foundation that a ratio of 4-to-1 Americans get their information about a position of a candidate from advertising rather than the news. Campaign ads have the potential to shape the visual and verbal language of news and the perspective of the viewers, allowing individuals to have enough information to make solid and justifiable decisions on whom to vote for. Political advertising allows citizens who are normally not involved with politics to receive information about candidates. Therefore, advertising is very important. My next point regards the variety of ways political advertising has the capability to be used. Although the term political advertisement is usually associated with candidates and political races, many other groups use this form of media to bring attention to specific issues and to express their personal opinions. Many candidates and interest groups use political advertising to promote themselves or the candidate of their choice, but also to bash other opponents. Thurber, Nelson, and Dubio also state that political advertising once was used primarily by candidates, But in most recent elections, they've seen an explosion in the use of advertising not only by candidates but also by political parties and interest groups. An example of this type of advertisement is the campaign run by cigarette companies to defeat the tobacco bill by Senator John McCain in the U.S. Senate. The tobacco companies spent over $40 million on advertising, and in the end resulted in changing the terms of the bill in public policy, so you see it is successful. One of the most important factors of using political advertising is the ability for individuals to express personal opinion. The First Amendment allows for little regulation of political support and allows for free speech to support or not support a political candidate or issue pertaining to religion, race, gender, and numerous other issues that fall under political term. One of the best examples of this type of personal expression is the excessive use of political bumper stickers, such as the No Obama stickers, also seen on the PowerPoint I have attached. Therefore, you see that political advertising works hand in hand with freedom of speech. In conclusion, while some may see political advertising as a negative medium form, these ads are vital in informing the mass audience, allowing for flexibility and allowing political groups, institutions, and individuals to express personal opinion. Political advertising, like product advertising, is a useful and necessary method used to educate mass audiences on specific issues or candidates to help close information gaps and highlight specific issues. Although political advertising has its faults, it is very useful and it's an effective tool that has influenced us all today. Without these ads, how many of us would actually know who was running for election? I probably would not.